Welcome to Conversations from Transport, Logistics and Air Cargo Southeast Asia 2025 in Singapore. I am Rajarshi Chatterjee from the Stat Trade Times, and right now with me I have the leaders of a company that operates the world's largest outsourced ULD fleet of nearly 200,000 units, supporting over 90 airlines through more than 480 airports, 18 regional offices, and 50 certified repair stations. And to better understand how the company remains at the forefront of transforming the industry, manages, tracks, and manages ULD assets, let's welcome Mohammed Akhlaq and Janis Balkens. So my question is, Unilode has built a strong global network through long-term partnerships with major airlines. And so could you share some examples or insights into recent collaborations or upcoming partnerships?
Yeah, it's been a tremendous 24 or so months for us. Um, Clearly, post COVID, I think outsourcing there's a mindset shift in the airline industry with regards to outsourcing. That's very visible now, and I think for too long ULDs have been, not as transparent as they should be to airlines. Whether that's from a movement perspective or a cost perspective because of the losses that they incur or repairs they have to have, it's been a major issue in the industry. And for us, it's been great to kind of, particularly with our backgrounds, to come into ULD management and kind of look at it from a different perspective to see how we can synergize and collaborate with our partners around the world. We started off with about 60 odd airlines. I think in the last 24 months, we've announced nearly 22 or so partnerships, and the geography, of course, has meant that we've really scaled up now. You mentioned 200,000 ULDs. It's a huge landmark for us, About 36 months ago, we were 140,000 ULDs. So we're scaling up tremendously, but more importantly, we're scaling across the world. So if you look at our additions of Air New Zealand in the Australasia region, we have, of course, recently American Airlines in North America, which complements some of our other airlines such as Air Canada, Air Transat, Hawaiian or LATAM in South America. That really gives us a good platform coverage in Americas. Same with Europe, with the renewal of cargo logs, and we have airlines such as SAS and Condor. It's a good mix of airlines in Europe as well. Middle East has also been very strong for us with Flynas. Of course, we look after Gulf Air. We recently announced Riyadh Air, another addition which really gives us good penetration in the Middle East market. And of course, not to forget Asia with Air India joining us last year. And that complements the likes of Cathay, Korean. And of course, recently, we also announced Thai Airways only 2 weeks ago. And I'm absolutely delighted. This week, we've announced Royal Brunei, who are joining us as well. And all this means it's shared success. For every one of our airlines, this means a greater access to our pool, a bigger pool of assets around the world, which helps a general portfolio. And I think that's the real benefit of what we bring to the party.
With our pooling model, as we bring on new partners on board, everyone benefits, our existing partners as well. It's not very usual where we would have one customer in the area and then we secure another one that our existing customer will be very happy, and they will be, because that means there's more availability of units in the region. Also with our pooling model, the bigger we grow, the more cost and more efficient we become for our partners on a unit basis. Of course, you have much more availability of 200,000 stock than you had in 140 because you had the gaps to fill. And I think another one that maybe Akas we need to mention, which was important geographically, was TAG Angola.
Of course.
That we onboarded earlier this year. Because
and Egypt Air Cargo, of
yes,
course.
and because then let's not forget Africa. It's a very, very important and promising market for us to add. So it really adds that spread and depth and great benefit for really bringing the ULD management to a completely new level but also benefiting from a shared resource, which is the airlines are not limited in their sales anymore. All they care about is that we have enough units in the right time at the right place.
And we've had some good examples recently. We recently took on Magma Aviation, and again, good penetration to Africa. We've got the flexibility of having a dedicated model, a hybrid model, a mix of dedication and pool, or a complete pool. And we can contract that and see how airlines want us to behave. And we've seen a very early switch in that case, within 3 months, from a dedicated model to a pool model, because clearly the benefits were there for the airline. And that's the agility and flexibility I think the industry needs right now, and it's great to have that.
And with scale, innovation comes second. Like these are two things that come in handy to each other.
Well, but innovation matters just as much, because one of the biggest issues, of course, scale is not just about having asset availability across the world. It's about having an MRO network too.
What you do with
together, which is critical, right? So we've got over 50 MROs. We haven't. Scale also means that we have to invest, right? Because we know that we need to invest in our infrastructure, our people, to deal with that scale and growth. And we've done that in abundance. You know, if you look at our staffing now, we've moved to over 800 staff around the world. We've got an OCC, which is completely refurbished, and a brand new OCC, which we did about 24 months ago, which houses nearly 150 plus people working 24/7. And from an MRO point of view, we've really expanded our MRO network. We've not just expanded it, but kind of brought it up to speed. New locations like Hong Kong, a new location here in Singapore. We've done similar sort of work in Newark.
Yes. We are building in Delhi now. That's first one for Unilode, because we've never done construction of. We always would lease a building, but this one in Delhi, we got a nice plot of land, so we are building that one because it's a massive hub for us, and same is for the Riyadh. So those are the two MROs that will come online in 2026. We believe in a model of providing end-to-end service ourselves, which means not outsourcing or subcontracting, because we want to be accountable to our customers all the way through. And because we have that internal service offering, that also gives us agility in terms of prioritizing which commodity types are now important. We're coming into a cargo peak now, so obviously pallets are more important. Where the pallets are more important? Probably out of Asia. So we can prioritize that because we have control of our maintenance repair facilities, so we can direct that. And we are not dependent at large degree to third parties. And it's been extremely successful for us, because airlines can see that there is one point of contact into our customer success manager that we have for every single account, and that takes care of them 360.
And when you talk about end-to-end solution, I think one of the most important thing is prediction of or predictive maintenance. So can you expand on that and other technologies in pipeline?
It's a very good point. I think everything we've talked about so far is underpinned by digital transformation. We see the criticality of, for too long the industry has spoken about digital transformation, but has it really happened to the point that it should? We've put a huge amount of effort and commitment and investment into our digital product. Today, we will be moving up to nearly 90-95% of our ULDs completely tagged around the world. We have 1,300 readers placed around the world, and that coverage is unmatched, completely unmatched. And we've kind of also got readers on aircraft. We recently saw the collaboration and innovation that we've done with Air Canada, where we could put readers in holds. So we understand this is not just about a tag and reader, because that of course gives you visibility and improves on your loss and unreported. But more importantly, how can we make the day-to-day processes more seamless through digital? And we worked in the cargo handling business or ground handling business, as I say, for a very, very long time. And to see people writing out on a Monday morning an SCM with a pen and paper is just not right.
Yeah.
It's criminal. And
Yes.
what we've created now through our digital platform and through that reader and tag network is also new developments where we have a development team in IT development team in Bangalore, our own self-developing tools. We've created an app where you can not only see the ULDs, you can scan ULDs in locations, but you can also do live SCMs by hitting a button. No longer do you need a pen and paper. And these are transformational, real life changes that are critical and important to the industry for us to move on as an industry too.
Yes.
So we've done a lot of work from that aspect. We'll continue to do that work, LUCs as well. Can we do that electronically and have the electronic signature? It's something we've developed.
Yeah.
Next month container management.
Yes.
We're launching container management as well. So digital, whether that's in the MRO, whether that's in ULD management planning or even visibility, all the processes on the ground, we see that underpinning all aspects of our business. It's critical.
What does it mean for also not only for our customers, for example, in reality, once our fleet is digitized, we then transition from being message dependent business where we depend someone to send us the message to digitally dependent business, which means we don't need the SCMs anymore every Tuesday, because we can create through the system as many SCMs as we want every time because we have full visibility of the fleet. That's a huge tangible benefit, because there's no secret that in our industry the accuracy of SCMs or LUCs is, let's say, a desired improvement, which I don't think we'll achieve in our lifetime. So we have to replace that with technology. Also, what it means from us in the operations control center is that we stop being dependent on the messages, but we actually plan all our 200,000 assets based on digital data and digital signals that we get from them. That's huge transformation, because that we can do it with a much higher certainty and degree of accuracy than we have ever done before. And that again brings more efficiency, more utilization, more productivity out of the assets.
But all of that means that we have a lot of data, rich data. So some of that data goes back for 20 years through messaging, as an example. Now the key thing that the guys are looking at behind the scenes is how can we use that data, not just from today, but from the past as well, for machine learning, and see how we can predict future planning issues or planning in general, and even repairs. How does that work from a predictive nature? So that is something that we have a huge enrichment of data. How do we now kind of work that data to our benefit going forward?
Right. And what percentage of your operations are currently moved to AI-driven operations, as you mentioned, especially on the data part and machine learning?
It's beginning to move now. This is something that we're looking at. We recently started exploring where do we take this data and what can this data do for us in the future. That analysis is going on. The great thing is we've got that data. It's how we churn that data out now. And I think the benefits will come definitely in the OCC with regards
for
to
the planning. Also predictive repairs, maintenance for the MROs, right? We do, because as we have incredibly rich data on all types of ULDs that we repair. Because as you know, when we onboard a customer, we buy their fleet, which means we get whatever they have. So we repair everything. And also we have quite a number of customers that are not our leasing customers, but our only repair-only customers, which means we do more than 300,000 repairs every year globally. So we have incredibly rich data in terms of total cost of ownership, but also where AI comes in is then the predictive maintenance. And we've been long in the business, and everyone talks about TCO and what does this unit cost to me in 10 years. Now you have that visibility, actually making sure what you buy for the right customer in the right region has huge implications on the life cycle of the unit.
And despite all these technologies, the industry continues to face a major challenge, that is misplace or loss of ULDs each and every year. And so, what step is Unilode taking to, uh, be it from the technological side, be it from the operational process side, to minimize these losses?
For us, it's all about digital visibility. So the first step is that if you are an airline today that is operating non-digitized fleet, we can guarantee you at least 50% reduction in the loss rate when we digitize your fleet. That's a minimum commitment that we can undersign. First phase was for us to get visibility at the airports, cargo terminals, ramp areas, ULD storages, and bag areas. But as you know very well, that works for containers, but not for pallets. The next step is now we've been rolling out hundreds of readers in the freight forwarded facilities, mail facilities, even shippers, the large, let's say, large companies itself, because once we have that visibility through and throughout, that's what reduces the loss, because the loss doesn't often happen in the baggage makeup area. It often happens when the units are on loan out with the agents. Once we have that full visibility, that's only doesn't even benefit us in a loss. I'm yet to meet one freight forwarder who is interested to lose the ULDs. They all want to return them too. So what we do then is, in return, we provide them with the data through visibility on digital. What's in your facility? What do you actually have from us? And not only that, how long do you have it, so you can manage your demurrage?
Plus, that will also impact on the aviation sustainability.
Of course.
Without
Yes.
a doubt. And I think that's something that, again, we put a huge amount of investment in. Clearly, we see the benefits. I mean, pooling straight away gives you that benefit, right? And ensuring that we can plan with as the scale gets bigger, the availability of the pool gets bigger. And of course, that brings the sustainability into play. We do a lot of exercises in terms of calculating those emission savings that we're doing for our airlines with regards to whether that's routes or by aircraft. We can clearly see that. But also repairs too, right? Because you don't have to bring repairs back in void positions just to repair back at base. You can repair at source at any of the 50 MROs that we have in the network, and life continues as normal. Not only is that great for sustainability, but also for revenue generation for carriers as well, because it gives them the ability to continue running the business as normal and generate revenue rather than having void positions. So sustainability for sure is a huge plus. And I know we're doing a lot of work in the MROs with regards to sustainability as well.
And in terms of electrify our facilities, I think in terms of forklifts, lighting and all that, everyone does. I think it's expected of any mature business these days. But I think for us, the big benefit is the pooling concept. Because we do not need to pre-position units and reposition them back, which means flying empty units there and back just to be ready for the next day.
Stock
which means you bring your units 1, 4, 5 there, and you take 4, 5, 6 back, because someone else will take those units somewhere else. Which means your number of your wasted, empty, non-commercial movements decreases, we would say, anywhere between 15 to 20%. So that is a huge, if you think of our scale, that is a huge amount of movements that we avoid. And that is the direct impact on sustainability. Of course, also cost saving, because if you think of fuel savings, but also commercial opportunity, which means you don't have to block void position to transport a damaged ULD all across the world to be repaired, which, if you think about it, is a crazy.
I think from a value proposition, when you kind of bundle everything that we've discussed together, you see the value of outsourcing, that assurance and that transparency. You know, unreported and loss, which you mentioned earlier. I mean, the impact of that from a cost base is just immense.
But also, I would like to add that digital in itself is not a silver bullet. It doesn't solve world's hunger. So it's a mix. So that's why it's a mix of digital and physical. We have a large team of people who are based in the major hubs of our customers and stations. We call them boots on the ground team that work with the key stakeholders like ground handling agents, cargo handling agents, major freight forwarders to make sure that the process is followed thoroughly. Because yes, digital will also say that yes, the units are there, but it doesn't really help if no one's doing nothing about it. So that's why the digital alone is not a solution. It needs to be a combination of digital and the team actually enforcing it.
And from the air cargo perspective, what changes do you think should come in ULD design or maybe the material to make it more sustainable?
There are pros and cons in every type. For our pooling unit, we use aluminium, and we have tried everything. The aluminium benefit, of course, it is almost fully recyclable at the end of life, right? Unlike composite materials, which are not, and it's very, very complex process still to this day to do that. Our main focus actually in terms of recycling now is on pallet nets, because not many people talk about it, but actually it is still a massive problem in our industry, and that's something that we are not very proud to talk about as an air cargo. What happens to all these polyester nets when they are out of use and expired? As you know, most of the nets have 3-year lifetime. So we are working very hard with OEMs to ensure that those nets become recyclable. And that is our next big win. And because we have scale, we also can make tailor-made programs with the OEMs to make sure that that gets done. And we are very close to this, and I expect to have good news in 2026 about it.
So one last question to both of you. One personal memory related to air cargo.
Over the years, we've seen live animals from lions moving to, cars, expensive cars or vintage cars moving. There's been a lot of, a lot of lovely things to see over the many years. But I think the industry is great because the industry overall is a joy every day. No matter whether you look at a small piece of cargo or a large piece of cargo, for us, or for me personally, is a learning every day. You never stop learning in this industry. And I think that education you get in this industry is, incredible. And even now, after so many years, we still learn new things. And that's the beauty of our industry, right?
Yes. I have one personal memory, which is I had one very stressful shipment, which was when I was relocating from Middle East to Europe, which was my dog.
Your dog.
I've never got so much pressure from my family to ensure that shipment was on time, as it needed to be, in the right place. And then it's very interesting how you behave when you select with whom to ship, when to ship, whom to trust, which agent to choose. You behave completely different when it comes to your family. And it was very stressful. So I don't wish this on anyone. Because God willing, if something goes wrong, there's no mercy.
It's more personal shipment
Yes.
than professional.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you so much.